listen to the beautiful birds. So beautiful. What's poppin', people? It's Dante, currently walking around here alongside these cliffs in Fairmount Park, Philadelphia, behind the Philadelphia Museum of Art. And today I'm thinking about how to make a sublime photograph. You know, what does it mean to make a sublime photograph? Why sublime in photography? You know, I find that when I'm looking at the world around me, you know, a lot of the times the most mundane things can evoke this emotional response to me as the viewer of that beautiful thing. You know, where I can look at the dewdrops on this leaf and I can look at nature's grandeur and beauty and all the intricate details and say, yes, this is beautiful, and put four corners around it and create an image. But the visualization and the creation of something sublime is actually very difficult to achieve, and I believe it derives through a mental state of being, through an emotional response that you have to the life in front of you. You know, I do think that there are some very simple practical things that we can do to achieve a sublime photograph. You know, one thing in particular being the use of light and shadow to evoke the sense of sublime. Hello. And maybe this comes through that childlike wonder, you know, like this kid kind of on the edge of a cliff, and then I can get this photograph of this kid on the cliff. This is good. Look at that, right? And there's that single subject in front of that beautiful sky, you know, and the clouds in the sky are dramatic due to the way in which light and shadow is casted today. We had a storm pass over, and so there's light peering through the clouds, and you know, now we have these children here playing against those beautiful clouds, which is kind of just beautiful. And so I'm so distracted. I'm missing shots because I'm making a video. That was very spontaneous, considering these kids just came out of nowhere. Anyways, yeah, for instance, we have the single subject, the kid running in the background, you know, these beautiful clouds. Okay, back to the topic, how to make a sublime. That was really spontaneous. That was kind of crazy. Those kids just literally, like, I'm on the side of a cliff, like there's no reason for something to occur right there, right then. That was pretty sublime. I'm so amazed that that just occurred. Anyways, so I'm at the cliff's edge and I'm looking out towards this beautiful river. We have the Schuylkill here, you know, we have this beautiful cliff, these rock formations, you know, nature's grandeur and beauty, the water rushing, the river flowing, the boathouses, this beautiful structure here inspired by Greek temples. You know, we have this beautiful architecture, these beautiful pathways, beautiful trees. You know, everything in front of me is beautiful, but I believe to evoke the sublime, one must go beyond beauty and to elevate the mundane to an extraordinary height. And you know, to me, this is the goal of the photographer, is to extract from the ordinary and to uplift it to a transcendental height, you know, to a lofty height, to elevate the simple, the overlooked, the sort of mundane nature of life to a new height. And so, you know, despite me returning to this location time and time again every single day and standing on top of this cliff and looking out at this same exact view, I feel something, you know, I feel such a deep appreciation for nature's grandeur and beauty and the connection of everything from the trees to the breeze touching my skin to the cells within my body and the stars and clouds above. You know, when you find yourself on a cliff's edge looking out towards the horizon, it reminds you how open this world is, how much there is to do, to see, to explore, and to photograph. And so by photographing through that emotional response that you have to life in front of you, I believe you can achieve this idea of evoking the sublime in a photograph visually. I think it's difficult to achieve, but I think it's possible, and it comes through recognizing the power of the mundane in everyday life. And so in order to evoke the sublime, and how to evoke the sublime in a photograph, I think one must feel, you know, one must have, you know, an emotional response to what they are photographing. You know, because for me, that's where the sublime is. It's in that emotional sort of connection that you have to the world and to everyday life. Hello. No, you're okay. How are you? It's my favorite cliff. Yeah, you can see out all over the horizon. It's beautiful. It's kind of dangerous. Yeah, that's how I was as a kid too. Always climbing, exploring.
So fun. We love it.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey, thanks. Sorry, are you recording?
Oh yeah, no, I was just making a video. Yeah, what's up?
You're good. I don't know if you've ever
Oh,
read that. One of my favorite books.
I'll look at it.
Beautiful testimonies. It's free. You can, there's a free app, or you can get one.
Okay, yeah.
If you're into the Bible.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm a disciple of Jesus Christ.
Oh, you'll love it.
I'll check it out.
It's like your 5th gospel.
Let's go.
See?
All right. The Book of Mormon. So, how to evoke the sublime in a photograph? Stand on the edge of danger, on the edge of a cliff. Look out towards the horizon and recognize the connection between you and nature. Recognize the connection between these small people that are running across the path to the grandness of the stars, the universe, the different planets, the cells in your body, and in between, right? There's something that's so powerful when you recognize the interconnectedness of everything and the ever so changing flow of life. You know, just looking at the water flowing, you know, reminds me that I too am always changing, and I too am evolving and flowing each day and growing. And yeah, I guess when you stand at the edge of a cliff and you look out towards a beautiful cloudy sky with the light and shadow peering through the clouds, it's a very simple way to evoke the sublime, due to the sheer fact that nature is so grand. And when you stand at the center of it all, looking out at that natural beauty, you just can't help but to feel something. And so in order to evoke the sublime, you have to become very aware of the moment, you know, and find deep appreciation for the moment itself, for the simplest moments, like the birds chirping, or these gnats that are flying around me, or the children playing, or the view of looking out towards the river from a cliff. And that feeling is something I believe that we can uplift in a photograph. And I think it's also something that we can uplift in a photograph through our aesthetic choices, through using high contrast black and white, to crushing the shadows, exposing for the highlights, and playing on that fine line between order and chaos, light and shadow. We can elevate and uplift the mundane to an extraordinary height through the use of a camera. I believe it's possible to achieve this visualization of the sublime in an image that goes beyond beauty, through uplifting the ordinary to an extraordinary height.